I have been frustrated throughout the years at the lack of homeschooling featured families in picture books. You can find lots of books out there about back to school and days in the life of school. You know, Berenstain Bears go to school or Curious George goes to school. But there are very few picture books on the market that feature homeschooling families. So I have done my research this summer. I have really dug in and looked around, and I have found 6 of my favorite picture books to share with you. Each of them are featuring a homeschool family or homeschooling story. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In case you are new around here, my name is Sarah. I am the homeschooling mom to 5 kids, and they range in age from teens all the way down to toddlers. I don't know about you guys, but no matter how old my kids are, they really enjoy picture books. I have found 6 of my favorite picture books to share with you. Each of them are featuring a homeschool family or homeschooling story. These books will be perfect for your back to school season. Maybe you would like to get a picture book to read to your kids on the first day of their homeschool. So I'm just gonna go through these in my book basket kind of style. I am going to do a quick flip through of each picture book and give you just a nice little summary or overview of each of these books. All right, so first up we have Charlie Goes to School. This is by Ree Drummond, the pioneer woman. I'm sure you are probably familiar with her from the Food Network. But this is a story based on her dog, Charlie. He actually passed away a while back, but she has an entire series of books about Charlie the ranch dog. So in Charlie Goes to School, we follow along Charlie on the ranch as he is just going through a normal day, and he runs into Mama doing homeschool with the kids. We see the children studying math with animal crackers, reading an animal book about giraffes, and even going outside for recess to do exercise. All of this prompts Charlie to start a homeschool of his own, and he attempts to educate the other animals on the ranch. On the last page of the book, there is even a recipe for Charlie's favorite strawberry oatmeal bars. The kids and I made this recipe with my mom a few years back. They are delicious, so definitely give them a try. This book was actually the first homeschooling picture book that we have ever owned. We have enjoyed it for several years now, and so I definitely recommend Charlie Goes to School. All right, so next up is The First Day of Homeschool, written and illustrated by Kaitlin Harris. Now, Kaitlin actually reached out to me and introduced this book to me and even sent me a copy, and I have a special treat for you today. I have a little clip here of Kaitlin talking about her book and sharing with you how you could possibly use it in your homeschool.
Hello homeschool families, my name is Kaitlin Harris and I wrote a book called The First Day of Homeschool. I'm so thankful for Sarah for giving me the opportunity to come and share it with you guys today. The First Day of Homeschool is a book that I wrote for my child when we were starting our very first year of homeschool 4 years ago. He was going into kindergarten, and I scoured the bookstores and the internet trying to find every picture book that I could about homeschool. I remember from my time as a public school teacher how excited the kids were when they got to read their first day of school book. And there were so many fun things about riding the bus and unpacking their bags into their cubbies and eating lunch in the cafeteria. And none of that really applied to us as we were starting homeschool. So I wanted my son, Charlie, to get to read a book that he could see himself in, and I just saw that need, and after a lot of prayer, I decided that I was going to write and illustrate a book, and this is the end product. So in the book you will see lots of colorful illustrations. It's just a really pretty short rhyming story. It's great for kids in early elementary school, and we read it as part of our yearly First Day of Homeschool tradition. So we actually put it in our morning basket, and on the very first day of school, it's the first thing that we do. We do some of the traditions from the book, like eating cinnamon rolls and taking a trip to the lake and getting together with friends. And we even like to do a reader response. So last year I read the book and I had my kids to make clay, make a clay sculpture of one of the scenes from the book. So I would just encourage you guys to use this book in any way that you see fit if you feel like it could be a blessing to your family. And I hope that your kids can see themselves in it. And I hope you have a great school year.
Thanks so much, Kaitlin. I'm going to actually spend a second here just to read through a couple pages of the book and flip through some of the illustrations for you guys. On the first day of homeschool, I hopped out of bed and ran into the kitchen with crazy hair on my head. Mom had made a special breakfast to start the day. Cinnamon rolls, fruit, and chocolate milk. Hooray! After some morning cartoons and a snuggle on the couch, we moved to the schoolroom to see my new books and pencil pouch. I wondered what I would learn about this year. Maybe space, Spain, or elephants with huge ears. This is a great book. I think it would be a perfect gift for your kids if you are looking for something special to do with them on the first day of your homeschool this year. I am actually going to include this book in a giveaway in my back to school week next week. So make sure, if you have not done so already, subscribe to my channel and come back over here next week to possibly win a copy of this book for yourself. This next book you may already be familiar with, but it is one of our favorites. This is My Home, This is My School by Jonathan Bean. This book is told from the perspective of a child as they are taking you on a tour of their school, which is their house, their own home. We get to meet their teacher, their mom, who, like many of us mamas, tires out pretty darn easily. We get to meet their classmates, their siblings, the class bully, their dog. We get to see the different classrooms in their house, just different rooms, a big playground in their backyard, and then even their school bus, which is their big family van. So this book definitely relates to me and my big family. I think that it will be a blessing to yours as well. So if you have not done so already, check out This is My Home, This is My School. Next we have Mama, Why Am I Homeschooled? And this is by J.C. Rue and Ellen Johnson. I absolutely love the dedication to this book, to the tired mama who's pretty sure she's screwing it all up. Grace changes everything. This is a story that goes through and answers the question that I think so many of us have gotten from our children. Mama, why am I homeschooled? Because baking and decorating sugar cookies is a way to master sight words. Pausing to pen an I love you letter to your aunt is a great way to polish up on important writing and grammar skills. Adding sketches to a nature journal is a way to explore our creative inner artists. Meeting up with friends at a co-op to train robots and hone in on the latest coding techniques. I'm not going to lie, reading this book had me in tears on more than one occasion. It is just beautiful and really gives you great meaning behind the everyday mundane tasks that we as homeschoolers can so often take for granted. Our next book is Ippy, Unschooled. This is written by Nicole Olson and illustrated by Alexis Zayers. Now, just a quick note about the illustrations in this book. On the first couple of pages, there is a note about the artwork. It says, artwork in this book was done entirely by children who are homeschooled or unschooled. The main illustrator, Alexis, is age 12, and there is also illustrations from children who range in age from 3 all the way up to 12. And so I feel like this just makes this book extra special to be able to support some sweet homeschool kids who did the illustrations. Now, I am by no means an unschooler. However, I have thoroughly enjoyed this picture book. This is a story about a little girl, Ippy, as she wakes up in the morning and goes through her homeschool day at home, unschooling. She starts her day by practicing lines from a play that her brother is writing. She helps her sister log into a computer to read an email. She explores nature outside and other items that are just in her yard and in her neighborhood, and even spends some time with an elderly neighbor. At the end of the story, Ippy runs into one of her friends who is coming home from public school, and her friend peppers her with questions about what she did in school that day, whether she did worksheets or math facts, how did she get any learning done. There's actually information in the back, notes from Ippy's mom, explanations of how and what Ippy learned throughout her school day in this book, and also more information about unschooling and how to do it in real life. This book was such an encouragement to me because on those days when we are not checking off all of those boxes on our formal curriculum, my kids are still learning so much. So I'm really thankful that I purchased Ippy Unschooled. It will be a favorite for years to come. Our last book is My Learning Adventure Begins, a Homeschooling Story. This is written by Carol Hookham and illustrated by Dick Bartell. This is a story of a year in the life of a 6-year-old homeschool boy. It starts out with his mom taking him into the local school district to notify that they are going to be homeschooling him for the upcoming school year. We see him being able to unbox and unpackage curriculum and school books as they arrive, and then using them day in and day out throughout his school year. We watch as he learns all of the letter names and sounds, learns handwriting, how to add, science experiments, and history lessons with a field trip to a museum. This is a little bit longer of a picture book, which makes it especially appropriate if you have maybe some upper elementary or middle school kids that you are reading a picture book to, because it's just a little bit beefier. But this is great because it gives you a big picture perspective of homeschool in an entire year. I love this book because it just celebrates what we as homeschoolers are doing day in and day out teaching our kids. All right, guys, well, I hope that you enjoyed all 6 of those picture books that feature homeschooling families and everyday homeschooling life. I will make sure to include links down below in the description box if you would like to check out any of these books for yourself. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, because coming up in August, we are going to be having Back to School Week, a week where I post videos every single day with our curriculum picks and all other kinds of back to school content that you are not going to want to miss out on. Something else that's going to be included in Back to School Week is a giveaway. And one of the items I'm including in that giveaway is this book, The First Day of Homeschool by Kaitlin Harris. So, subscribe to our channel, make sure you stick around and come back. I hope that you are enjoying gearing up for back to school in your home. See you later.